Hello, and thank you for joining me for 3 secrets to staying calm at challenging times. If we've not met before, my name's Tabitha Gale. I'm an integrated healer and mindset and emotions expert, and I work one-to-one with people online, helping them to stay calm and balanced with whatever it is they find in their lives. And I've come to specialize with working with creatives and sensitive people who are quite empathic, and usually quite busy as well. Okay, so I'm going to give you my top 3 ways to feel calm and balanced yourself, and also I'm going to share with you a fantastic technique that you don't want to be without if you're needing to feel really centered in yourself and in your body. Okay, so number 1 is self-inquiry and awareness. So having a bit of digging a bit deeper, doing a bit of self-development work with yourself. So you can simply journal on this. So you can write down the things that are stressing you out, the things that you've been reacting to, and how you've been reacting to them. And then you can look at those things again and write down how you would like to respond ideally. So how you can change your behavior, keep yourself calm the best you can in those situations or with those people. And then what you can do is you can use your creative imagination to kind of rehearse doing things differently in those situations. The mind-body connection is really powerful with this. So what we kind of imagine our body believes, our animal instincts will follow. So for example, if we're worrying about something, our body will feel fearful. If we think the worst is going to happen, our body is going to respond to that with tension or tightness, holding our breath, thinking, oh, that's not going to be a good experience. And then you know, the more you worry about it or think that situation is going to be bad, the more you believe it and the more your body believes it as well. And then you have those symptoms of stress. So this is like the opposite of that. We are writing down the way that we want to respond, and then just with our mind and our imagination, we're going to practice what that would actually be like. What would that look like for you? What would it feel like? How would you what kind of things would you be saying to yourself in that situation, or even saying to the other person? What would your voice sound like? So really using your imagination. And you don't need to be a visual person to visualize. You can use your imagination. If your feeling senses are stronger, you can really imagine how you're going to feel in that situation. Okay, so that's number 1, just journaling on what's causing you to react, and then writing down how you would like to respond, so the qualities you would like to feel: calm, confident, etc., and then rehearsing that in your mind's eye. And I do a bit of this within my integrated healing sessions. We work with a goal statement, which might be I am calm and focused. And part of getting us towards that goal is actually imagining what that's going to feel like. So practicing, rehearsing what that's going to be like when we're in that really good state and we are dealing with things in a much better way. Okay, so number 2, good thing for staying calm during challenging times is being really centered in your own energy. So there are different ways to do this. Also, grounding to the earth is a really good way to bring our energy back down into our body and connect with the Mother Earth. But there's another technique which I use quite a lot in my one-to-one sessions, which is called Hara Point. And I'm going to show you this today. So the hara is an area in the body which is just beneath the navel, about 1 inch beneath the navel. And it's an energy center. We have 3 dantians in the body. One is at the brow, one is at the heart, and one is the hara. And the hara is the biggest one of the 3. So It's also that area in our body where we store our life energy in the reproductive organs, and it's a real kind of power center for us. It's where our creativity is. And it's actually used, to center your energy in martial arts. You can center your energy in this area in the body, and it actually makes you physically stronger. So Hara point was a really good thing to do to center your energy if you're feeling knocked off balance, you're feeling kind of scatterbrained, if you're feeling anxious, if you're just not feeling very connected to the earth, if you're feeling disconnected, if you've been worrying a lot, if you've been doing a lot of mental work. All of this takes us up into our head and kind of a little bit out of our body energetically. So let's do a bit of Hara point now. So all I want you to do is just make sure that you're sitting upright and you've got your feet on the ground and your back is nice and supported, and just let your arms rest at the sides. And we're just going to focus on the Hara point, and with a strong intention, we're going to ask our energy to come back into the Hara. So you can imagine your energy like golden light coming in from all around you in all directions and just settling in the Hara. So just check in with your body and make sure that you are relaxed. Maybe take a couple of really nice deep breaths all the way in and all the way out. Just let yourself be really present in your body. So with this technique, it's very easy. It's an energy technique. We don't need to have tension in the body. We don't need to force anything. You can just sit and relax, and then we're just going to bring our energy into the Hara. So if you're really visual, yeah, you can imagine the golden light coming in, or you can just imagine your strength coming back. You can imagine the feeling of the strength of the energy, your energy being really nice and centered in the Hara there beneath the navel. And you can kind of imagine like a football sized globe of energy in there, where you're gathering your energies together, and it's like you're gathering your strength energetically there. So just take a moment to do that. Another thing you can do is imagine that you have a nose on your Hara, and actually you're breathing your energy back in to that place just below your navel. So just imagining that energy coming all the way in. And if you need a bit more time, you can just pause this video. But when you've done that, just check in with how you're feeling. You might want to just pause the video and just have a little walk around. See how you're feeling. See if you're feeling more present in your body, if you feel a bit more solid, your feet on the ground. Just check how you're feeling. And it can take a little bit of practice with this. I always recommend to clients that they practice doing their Hara point while they're brushing their teeth for a week. So you'll be doing this twice a day, and just with that sort of 2 minutes that you brush your teeth, you're going to place your hand on your Hara, and with that strong intent, ask that your energy comes into your Hara and stays there. So it can take a bit of practice, because most of us in the West, we're all up in our heads. Our energy is quite scattered and quite upward. It's surprising how many people aren't actually really present in their bodies. So don't worry if you don't kind of feel anything at first. You may not, and that's absolutely fine. Just keep doing it. When I first learnt this technique, it was kind of the day 3, I think, that I really noticed my energy kind of really being in my hips there. When I was brushing my teeth, and I kind of went to grab my toothbrush, and then it's like boom, suddenly I was in my Hara really quickly, and I hadn't my energy had learned to do it because I'd been practicing it, but I hadn't actually gone through that. Okay, I'm going to do my Hara now. It's just like my body went, oh, we're brushing your teeth, we must get into the Hara. So your body, your energy body, is learning from you what you're doing. And if you do this for a whole week, you will have this technique down really strongly. And this is fantastic 'cause it means that if you have anything going on that's knocking you off balance in life, you can do your Hara point, and you can do it very quickly as well. Even if you suddenly have a challenging situation with somebody, or you're walking somewhere where you feel a bit wobbly, you can be in your Hara. Just gives you so much strength and confidence, and it actually does strengthen us physically. So it's a really fun thing you could actually do with a friend as well. You could both do it with each other, and you can, before and the person's in their Hara point, you stand next to them, kind of almost shoulder to shoulder, and you will ask the person, can I just push you and see if I can move you off your feet while they're standing? This is before you've done the Hara point, and see if you can just push them over, topple them off their feet. It doesn't usually take much force, be relatively gentle. Then get them to do their Hara point, and let them tell you when they feel like they're in their Hara, and then say, okay, I'm going to push your shoulder again to see if I can move you off the spot, and just notice the difference. Sometimes people don't get it first time, so you can always ask them to do it again if you can still push them quite easily. Say, let's do a bit more of that and see if we can strengthen it. And then test again just by pushing them. So I'm going to just push your shoulder and see, and I want you to sort of just stay on the spot and push them, and you'll be amazed. You probably won't be able to move them at all, their shoulder. They'll be absolutely solidly standing there. And this is fantastic for the person being worked on, because it really shows that all they've done is just done an energy technique, but it's affected their physical body is rooted to the ground. So that's something that you can do with your partner or a friend. Okay. So, yeah, there's so many. I just love, it's my favorite technique. You can use it if you're not feeling confident. And anytime you want to be really centered, basically. And really, we want to be centered most of the time, right? Because then whatever happens during the day, we're centered and in a really good place and in our power to deal with that. Okay, so number 3, another way to stay calm at challenging times is to practice peacefulness and to learn to calm the mind. So just ask yourself, are you getting enough quiet time that you're able to actually switch off and just have headspace, just have that quiet time to just be? That's the first thing. I know that many of us have really busy lives and families, that we're with people most of the time, but if there's any way you can carve out some time to just go for a 20-minute walk around the block, or just lock yourself in the bathroom for half an hour, have a really nice relaxing bath, and when no one will disturb you, even those small snippets of time will make a huge difference. And another way to calm the mind is meditation. And this doesn't need to be a full-on hour of sitting in the same position, being uncomfortable. You can literally just take 10-15 minutes a day, or even just 3 times a week, to just sit quietly, allow your thoughts to come without connecting to them, and you can just watch your breath, is the best way to do it. So when thoughts come, you just don't give them any importance. You just come back and watch your breath, just watch your breathing, and just to relax and just give the mind time to unwind, is really, really important. And the more we do this, the more that we bring that peacefulness into our lives, because when we start practicing something like that, our body will remember it. So you'll find that you have times during the day where you think, oh, I feel sort of peaceful, I feel calm and relaxed, and it's because you've been practicing it. Your body and your being learn to do that, so then more peacefulness will come into your day. If you think about the opposite thing, if we're worrying about something, then we're building up perhaps scary images on our mind, and the mind, we're teaching the mind that we need to worry about something, we need to be anxious about things, we need to look out for the danger. And part of us is always, you know, trying to do a good job with that, with looking after us as well. But the more we worry, the more the mind thinks that's something that we need to do. We need to worry, and so it'll worry about and everything. You know, it'll just you'll get more and more worrying thoughts. Whereas if you practice to kind of let go of your thoughts a bit more and just sit in stillness, you're going to have those lovely moments of stillness coming into your day because you've started to practice that. So it doesn't have to be a huge thing. You can just literally set your switch your phone off, or just set an alarm that you just give yourself 10 or 15 minutes. If I do that, I quite like to have a clock that I can see the time as well, so I'm not just kind of lost in space. I can sort of have a look and go, okay, I've got 5 minutes left. You know, especially if you're busy, that can be a really nice thing to do. And often in that stillness, that's when we can connect with how we're really feeling about the things in our lives. That's when we can pick up those intuitive nudges from ourselves. You know, that's when we can have those aha moments where we think, oh, I need to do this, or I need to let go of that. So important to give ourselves that time kind of with ourselves to just check in. And I have a free private group on Facebook where I actually run fortnightly guided meditations, and this is exactly that. So we just it's a really nice place to connect with other sensitives and creatives, and just to check in with ourselves. So the meditations are just 20-30 minutes once every 2 weeks, and just literally doing some relaxation so that we can experience calm, and then just listening to that inner voice inside. And we have our notebook or journal with us so that if we do get any insights, we can write them down. So it's just time to kind of check in and get into the habit of that. And of course, we can all do this. We can take time to do this, you know, a few times a week, but it's nice to have that connection sometimes with other people as well, and to learn to be more in that peaceful state, and yeah, and see what our soul has to say to us. So you're welcome to join me there. It's called Circle of Light Community on Facebook, and it's free to join. So yeah, I would love to see you there. If you're interested in working with me one-to-one, or you'd like to contact me about anything that I've talked about today, or the Hara Point, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to help. And thank you so much for joining me for this video, and wishing you lots of peace and calm in your life. All right, bye bye for now.